Okay. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Srinivas from Going Vocal. As we know, we have been discussing so many interesting issues pertaining to society, and at the end of the day, the aim of this channel is actually to bring in some solutions so that listeners can also add value. Today, we are going to discuss about film censorship. It's a very interesting topic to discuss. A lot of viewpoints and opinions. And I have with me two very distinguished guests. One is, of course, Shaji from Kochi, Kerala, and then Anupam, who is from Uttarakhand. Please correct me, Anupam, if I made a mistake. So, let me first pose the first question to Shaji. Actually, this film censorship, if you see, you have the latest movie which is yet to be released. There's a lot of controversy going on for that film of JSK, if I'm correct, where Suresh Gopi is the hero. So there has been a controversy going on in the sense that the lady character's name is Janaki. Janaki, as you know, is the name of Sita Devi in Ramayana. So finally, I think there was a lot of opposition to it, and the censor board, I think, has advised the makers of the film to make some changes. So what do you think, Shaji? I mean, censorship, does it have to go so far in the sense that the name of the character has to be changed? So what in your opinion is, what are the main criteria or objectives of censoring a movie? What are the things which should be included and what are the things which should be excluded? Because as you know, cinema is an artistic activity. So this is my question to you.
Thank you, Hemant sir. It was an interesting question, and it is a question of this period, because you asked about the movie, Malayalam movie JSK, Janaki versus State of Kerala. This issue, I think, not only in Kerala, it's an issue. It is to be considered. It is to be discussed all over India, because that movie, the name of that heroine in that movie is Janaki. I think it's a courtroom drama. I saw its trailer and the teasers. It was an interesting courtroom drama movie. From the trailers, I think so. And the protagonist in that movie is none other than Suresh Gopi, a superstar in Malayalam film industry. Moreover, he is a union minister from BJP's one and only MP from Member of Parliament from Kerala, and he is the union minister from Kerala. And he is the person who is acting in that movie as the protagonist character. The issue raised on that point when the film submitted for certification before the Central Board of Film Certification, they suggested they suggested for the change of the main heroine's character, because heroine's character is Janaki. Janaki is, according to them, Janaki is another name of goddess Sita. So they requested the producer as well as the director to change the name of goddess Janaki. In fact, the heroine's name is I think Janaki Vishwanath or something like that. And they orally requested the producer and the director, one of the members from the Senate Board of Film Certification from Panaji, Goa. They informed the producer as well as the director to change its name, but they refused to accept their request, saying that so many films are there in Kerala as well as in India, that gods and as well as goddess names are there. Moreover, gods and goddesses have several names, and it is not at all possible to change the name considering the name of the gods as well as the goddesses. And it is against the fundamental right to freedom and speech and expression. According to these are the reply submitted by the director as well as the producer. But hence the but that reply was not acceptable for the Central Board of Film Certification, and hence they didn't issue certificate to the film. Then the producer as well as the director approached the Honorable High Court of Kerala and submitted that these are the things that are being done by the Central Board of Film Certification, and their request is to change its name. Then, interestingly, finally the High Court, the judge who was hearing the case, Justice Nagaresh, opted to see the movie personally, and he and his crew saw the film, and they asked the Central Board of Film Certification, the Standing Council, to what is wrong in using that name. According to the court, one more interesting is that it's a political issue, because the Central Board of Film Certification is mainly the ruling parties, that Bharatiya Janata Party is opposed, and this is a political issue as well. Even though the court asked that question, they could not give a proper answer. They said this is another name of goddess Sita. But finally, it is interesting that finally the director as well as the producer submitted a statement before the court that we are ready to change its name as Janagi. It's Janagi V or something like that, because Janaki Vishwanathan is the protagonist, is the heroine's character. We are ready to, because we are not intending to have more controversy on that issue, because we have suffered a loss, a serious loss. So we are ready to change its name, and accordingly the High Court closed that file, and the certificate, they issued the certificate, and it will be released. It will be released as soon. But my suggestion is that this is one of the examples of unnecessary creating creating problems by the Central Board of Certification, because Article 19(1) specifically there is right to speech, right to speech, or fundamental right to freedom and speech and expression is there. Moreover, our gods and goddesses have several names. Several names are in our movies, in our serials, and several things are there. This simply these things are to be avoided, because Hindu names are other names of the goddesses. Subramanian has several names. Shiva has several names. Rama has several names. Arjuna is there. Krishna is there. Goddess Sita is there. Several names are there. So this is not a. I think this is not a thing to be considered. And these restrictions are simply not acceptable for a country like India. So my personal view is against the CBSE's decision and request. And thank you, Hemant, for asking such an interesting question, and sought for my reply. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you, Shaji. Actually, it's a very interesting response that Mr. Shaji has given, because originally this film was given certification by the censor board. So once the censor board is the ultimate body as far as giving censorship or monitoring the censorship is concerned. So once the film has been certified by the censor board, then actually that's it. It's a final. It's a final verdict. But here you have seen a case where in Kerala, this movie, when it was about to be released, somebody has raised objection because of the name, and then finally. I think the producer and the director, because of commercial reasons, they had to compromise on their stance, and then they had to make some changes. So it's really an interesting and very pertinent response that was given by Mr. Shaji. Thank you for that. Actually, I have this question to Anupam. You have the various types of applications as far as censorship is concerned. Some movies, like for instance, there was this recent movie called Marco, which was released in Malayalam but came in other languages also. There actually you can see that it has got an adult certification. So, in today's context, where you can access movies through social media, you have this Telegram app where you can download movies once these movies come to the OTT. What, in your view, see, we have adult as far as the Indian context is concerned, is anybody who is 18 years and above. So, do you think that by giving this certification, will it really help in preventing children population less than 18 not to watch such movies? Because they need not necessarily go to the commercial, they need not go to a cinema. It's a movie which is having U plus A, that is 18 plus certification. It can be watched in your mobile or laptop. So how do we control this? I mean, how do we? What do you see? How do you see the censorship going forward? I mean, don't you think that some steps have to be taken more vigorously to prevent the full? To see that the certification is used properly. That is my question.
Yeah, thank you, Hemant, for the question. And I think you are right where you are saying that nowadays with digital media coming up, we have a lot of way to watch the films. Then we have Google where we can download anything and we can see. The relevancy of the CBFC certification, I think, has gone down. Earlier times it was very good, but with the digital media coming up, I think after COVID, most of the times when we have free access of the internet, and children also have full access to everything, they are free to do anything, and there is no restrictions to them. Relevancy has reduced, but it's a CBFC certification is like a closed door without walls. I see it like that, because like you said, you are giving a certification where like you rightly said, we can give a certification of A certification, U certification, but still we have all the other medias where we can download things and then we can record, or somebody can record it and then upload it on YouTube. There are various ways. So I think there should be a global brainstorming on this, where our own country and also include other countries as well on how to regulate these things which are going on in other medias like YouTube and other social networking sites. Those also needs to be controlled. Otherwise, there is no relevancy. We are just wasting time with CBFC certification where people are getting salaries and doing nothing, because it's just a wastage of time. Like Shaji said, there was an incident that happened in Kerala with one of the movies that he described, and he said that these kind of things should not happen. But I see it as a positive point as well, where at least we have some regulations. People are coming up, but like Shaji said, it should be open. We have the article where we have freedom of speech, and we have freedom to create and innovate and show people what we have done. But I think there should be regulations. He rightly said there can be names which can any name. You take any name in Hindu religion, especially, it will certainly, if you try to check it will have some relevancy with the God's name. So it's very difficult to control such thing. But I think we should see intent over here instead of seeing the movie and why the name was kept Janki. I think we should check the intent. So intent of the filmmaker should be checked. If there is something where they are trying to do it intentionally, so that needs to be checked. I think there should be a questionnaire that should be sent directly to the filmmakers beforehand, and it should be customized, where for each movie you have to change question and give it to the makers, producers, directors, and then to that questionnaire there should be a question, and then based on those question answers they have given, then we should give them certifications, because it will be difficult to understand just by the content of the movie also that why it has been given. Maybe that name was very relevant. In case if it's not relevant and it is certainly hitting or may create chaos among the public, it's not a problem to change, right? If the name itself is very important for the movie, then it can be thought, and then it has to be justified that why we have used this name. in that case, it's okay if the Supreme Court and the CBFC board that are sitting over there thinks that no, this is very relevant and it will really impact the story that directors or producers want to portray amongst the audience. So that is how I see. And Hemant, coming back to your question, I think it will be very tough to deal with such to create some restrictions and regulations. But I think certainly we need to change some processes where we have tough processes, very strict, stringent processes should be there, and not only to the movies that are getting released in theaters, but also in Netflix and all other media. Because you see, there has been a lot of adultery is happening nowadays. You see, old Balaji and so kind of channels are there, which is producing and showing these kind of adult films, which we can call as soft porn, which that needs to be controlled, and also the other people who are involved in this has to be made aware, and separate platforms and everything that has to be very restricted. With the Prime membership, the fees should be so much that easy. It is not easy for members to have access to, because otherwise it will be very difficult. It's an open world, and with internet coming up, you cannot regulate everything, I know, but a step has to be taken so that people understand, and that something that the government is also taking care of. Otherwise, it's an open world, like I said. So yeah, this is my opinion, Hemant.
Okay, fine, Anupam. So there's some very interesting points put by Anupam. Yes, they're very difficult to control social media, but something will have to be done very seriously by the censor board, wherein the content of the movies, when censored, it has to be effective. So some sort of a measure will have to be put, as suggested by Anupam. So actually, this question is, I mean, maybe I can put it to both of you. See, the audience is what was, say, till, I don't know, maybe 2015 or 2019, I would say that the audience has changed. So, how do you think, I mean, what do you feel as far as the censoring is concerned? Don't you think there should be some sort of relaxation given, at the same time maintaining the discipline also as far as the content is concerned? Because after all, cinema is an entertainment business, so success is based on the commercial part. So you can definitely see now, even in Malayalam movies, you can see a lot of violence being depicted. It has also had, some of the movies are also contributing a bit to some sort of violence which is happening now amongst the youngsters here. So how do we tackle this problem? I mean, probably I can, how effective can the censor board act and make some changes or amendments so that there is some relaxation, but at the same time the content is also checked, and it is something which is in tune with the present times. That is, we are now in 2025. So what do you think, Mr. Shaji, would be some steps to be taken by censor board, maybe changing its policies and making it more effective and in tune with the time? This is my question to you first. Then probably Anupam can also put in his views.
Yes. Now we are in a global network because movies from Hollywood, Bollywood, as well as movies from everywhere is available on our OTT platform. And South Korean and North Korean movies are there, Japanese movies are, Chinese, French movies are there. So many movies are available on our platform. So strict restrictions like the names of the characters and these things I think are unnecessary. But some restrictions should be there, or should be needed, because some movies from Korean movies are highly vulnerable movies are there, and sexual as well as crimes are there, sex as well as crimes are there, and not possible to even to watch those movies are there. So I think some censorship as restrictions should be here, not only in film world as well as in OTTs also. Otherwise, it will definitely affect our children, our youngsters. I think one of my friends went to see that movie, Malayalam movie Marco, with his wife, 2 children, and mother, and he was totally upset while watching that movie, and he before the interval he went back. So because that movie was not meant for children, or for
True.
it is true, it was for above 16. It was certified as above 16, but all the people were there, or with the families were there in theaters, so he was not aware about the content of that movie. And some restrictions should be there. So, otherwise it will definitely cause damage to our society. But it is true that there is no censorship for dramas and novels, short stories, other things. It's true, but film is something different. Cinema is something different, because cinema has more influence in the society. And uh, likewise, a Tamil, a great Tamil novelist called Perumal Murugan. There was criticism against his novel Madhoru Bhagan, half god, half man, Ardhanarishwaran in Malayalam. And there were criticism from the society, from some people against his novel. And he then, due to the threat from from a particular political party and its members, he decided to stop his writing. And finally, the High Court of Madras requested him to please continue your job, and you are one of the best writers of Tamil language, so you continue your job, etc. etc. Was one of the issues that we heard about the novels. But there is no restriction or censorship on novels or other things, dramas and short stories. But as far as movie is concerned, in my personal opinion, some censoring should be there. But we have to consider the other film industries like Hollywood and French, Japanese, Chinese, Koreans. These things are also to be considered, because our people are watching these movies also. So we must think about those things, and some liberalization should be given to in our by CBFC, and consider that aspect as well. Thank you.
Okay, so that's some interesting point. I mean, there should be, film, as what you said rightly, it has got a psychological impact. So, that considering that, there should be censoring, and it should be done in such a way that the entertainment value is maintained, but it should not have a negative influence on the minds of the people who are watching, especially the youngsters and people below 18. So that's a very good answer that was given by Shaji. Thank you very much. So Anupam, what is your take on this, Anupam?
Yes, I think very interesting point, Shaji.
Do we have to? Yes, please.
A very interesting point from Shaji. Like you said, there are some other movies, other countries' movies, like we see in Chinese, then Korean. I think it has a very huge impact on Indian youngsters these days. And like Shaji said, rightly said, that movies are the reflection of our society. And if you are saying that cinema is just for entertainment, it's not, because it will really reflect what in a society, what kind of society we are portraying. So I see people or filmmakers glorifying the roles where villain is having a cigar in his hand, is smoking, and then killing people. Then I think the latest movie that we have seen, the Pushpa, we are glorifying. He was smuggling the Chandan woods. So I think we are glorifying these things, but I think the necessity of the movie is okay. But I think the audience is also very smart these days. They understand that this is just for entertainment purpose, and they do not take it as it is. But still, we will have impact. A certain direction should be given to all the filmmakers, saying that we have to review the movie. I think one point where what we can do is, once the film is released, of course we have CBFC certification before the release, where board members check the movie and they think that everything's okay, and if they want to cut some part which can impact people and the society, can create chaos among the society, they try to filter those things, filter out those parts. But I think there should be a committee which also checks after the movie has been released to see sentiments of the people, and if there's some things which are really impacting and people are coming up with questions and they are saying that these things are not correctly shown in the movie, then there should be again board members should sit together and again try to recheck the movie, and based on the reviews that they have received, they may ask them to again filter out certain things which are impacting or creating chaos in the societies. And it is very important. And what all other things we can do is we can distinguish or segment or categorize movies based on like if they're mythological movie, then it has to be given to board members which has knowledge on that. And I think those board members need to be shuffled every time. Not only I see very static board members where people are same, but I think the board members are I think for 3 or 5 years, and they keep on their different movies that are come up, and there we have the same static members who do not have knowledge about the facts and figures about the movies that they are trying to portray. And I feel there should be some accountability. There should be some representative from the Bollywood, of course, but I think it should not be fully from Bollywood. There should be people who have really knowledge about mythological. So board members should be picked. They should be tested thoroughly, and based on those tests or the recommendation from others, and after their knowledge, their field of knowledge, they should be selected, and I think they will be doing a better job. And then we can control things rightly from school education. Parents have to be very aware what their children are watching. Even if they are watching mobiles or iPads or tablets, they have to be aware what they are watching. And in case if they feel that certain things are not limited on their mobiles, then we can use AI and technology through which they can be blocked. So we can have those tags included, and some sort of script that we can through some application that can be developed. Some startups could be there, I think, where we review what the children are watching, and then based on that we can block or unblock things for them. I think these are the ways that can be done. And individual level and also personal level, government level, everyone has to work in sync to create a place where people are not restricted to show what they need to show. Entertainment is very important. Cinema is a very big tool, where we have also seen that other countries, I think China and other countries also showcase their prowess in their technology that they have achieved by showing different kind of technology in the movie itself. And it becomes very important to show to everyone that what powers they have and what maybe the world will be in after 10 to 20 years. So it is important, but yes, some regulations should be there, but as per the modern era, those regulations should be. And the board members, I think the revamp of the board members is very important. So this is what I feel, Roman.
Okay, so very interesting points by Anupam. Yeah, so from both the responses that we have got from Shaji and Anupam regarding the second question that I posed, it's important that some sort of discipline is in a certain concern. We need a and then of course, considering the entertainment value, the entertainment value should not be lost. But at the same time, there needs to be some management as far as the content is being portrayed. So I think we are running out of time. So it's a very interesting topic. So, ladies and gentlemen, finally we have come to this particular. I would like to summarize today's discussion by saying that censoring is required to get the content discipline, and at the same time to ensure that it doesn't have a very negative psychological impact on the audience. And at the same time, it should also not stifle of the make of the movie, because cinema is a very creative field. Thank you once again, Shaji and Anupam, for participating in this discussion, and please subscribe to Going Vocal, and we will look forward to bringing out more interesting topics in the coming episodes. Thank you. This is
Thank
Hemant
you,
Srinivas
Aman.
signing. Bye.
Thank you, Shaji.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Shah.
you.